Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. You know, so many of us are looking for ways to feel our best, to keep our energy steady, and to really take charge of our health, especially as we get a little older. But have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, yet something still feels off? Maybe it's that afternoon energy crash, or perhaps you're more aware than ever of how your body handles sugary foods and the impact that has. What if I told you that some of the answers we're searching for aren't in complicated plans or expensive fads, but might be hiding in plain sight, right in our own kitchens? It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But sometimes the most profound changes come from small, consistent steps. Today, we're going to explore a few everyday foods that, when understood and used wisely, could offer surprising support for your body's natural ability to manage sugar and maintain that vital balance. Are you ready to look at your pantry with fresh eyes? Let's dive in. First, let's talk about lemons, more than just a garnish. We all know lemons, don't we? That bright, zesty fruit we squeeze into water or over our fish. Many of us love that fresh tang. But could this common citrus be doing more for our metabolic health than we give it credit for? I believe it's entirely possible. You see, for decades we've been told about the importance of vitamin C in lemons for immunity, and that's certainly true. But what if the true power of lemon, especially concerning how our bodies manage the sugars we consume, lies a little deeper? Think about it. When you eat, your body embarks on the complex task of breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. If that process is sluggish or overwhelmed, especially by a rush of sugars, you can feel those unpleasant spikes and crashes. Now, some research and a good deal of traditional use suggests that lemon might play a role in supporting smoother digestion. The natural acids in lemon can stimulate digestive juices, almost like a gentle wake-up call for your system before a meal. And why is that important? Well, a digestive system that's working efficiently may be better prepared to handle carbohydrates, potentially leading to a more gradual release of sugars into your bloodstream. It's not about blocking sugar, but rather helping your body process it in a more balanced way. Then there's pectin, a type of soluble fiber found in lemons, especially in the pith and peel, parts we often discard. Have you ever considered using a little zest from an organic lemon, of course, in your cooking or a smoothie? This pectin can form a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. Imagine it acting like a gentle filter, slowing down how quickly sugars are absorbed. This could mean less of a jolt to your system, helping to avoid that sharp rise in blood sugar that can leave you feeling drained later on. It's a subtle effect, but these subtle supports can add up, don't you think? Of course, lemon isn't a magic bullet. If you have a very sensitive stomach or issues with acid reflux, you'll want to be mindful. And we're talking about fresh lemon here, not sugary lemonades or processed lemon-flavored drinks, which can often do more harm than good by adding unnecessary sugars and artificial ingredients. The idea is to harness the natural properties of the whole food. So, my question to you is, could a simple glass of water with a squeeze of fresh lemon before meals, or using lemon more generously in your cooking, be a small, supportive habit worth trying? It's a simple shift, but it might just help your body maintain that delicate equilibrium it strives for. Next up, broccoli, a cruciferous champion for metabolic well-being. All right, let's move on to a vegetable that many of us have a bit of a love-hate relationship with. Broccoli. Often relegated to a simple side dish, could this green powerhouse actually be a key player in supporting our body's efforts to manage blood sugar? I think the evidence is mounting, and it's quite compelling. Broccoli is packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. That's well known. But the real star, in my opinion, when we're talking about metabolic health, is a compound called sulforaphane. Now that might sound like a complex chemical, but its actions could be wonderfully simple in supporting your body. Sulforaphane is found in abundance in broccoli, and even more so in broccoli sprouts. What's so special about it? Well, researchers are increasingly interested in how sulforaphane might help improve insulin sensitivity. Think of insulin as the key that unlocks your cells to let glucose in for energy. If your cells become resistant to insulin, if that key doesn't work so well anymore, sugar can build up in your bloodstream, leading to all sorts of problems. Sulforaphane, it's believed, might help your cells listen to insulin a little better. It's like polishing that key or oiling the lock, making the whole process more efficient. And there's another fascinating aspect. Our liver actually produces glucose, a process called gluconeogenesis. In some situations, particularly if blood sugar is already a concern, the liver can overproduce glucose, adding to the burden. Some studies suggest that sulforaphane might help gently dial down this internal sugar production. Imagine your body having a smarter thermostat for sugar. That's the kind of regulatory support we're talking about. This isn't just theory. There have been studies, including human trials, looking at the effects of broccoli sprout extract on individuals with type 2 diabetes. Some have shown measurable improvements in fasting glucose levels. Now, this doesn't mean broccoli is a replacement for medical care. Absolutely not. But doesn't it empower you to know that a food readily available in your grocery store could offer such significant support? To get these benefits, consistency is likely key. Steaming it lightly, stir-frying it, or even roasting it. Find ways to include broccoli in your meals regularly. It has a low glycemic index, meaning it doesn't cause sharp spikes in your blood sugar. It's a food that works with your body, not against it. Are you giving broccoli the credit it deserves in your diet? Or could this be an overlooked ally in your quest for better metabolic balance and sustained energy? Let's spice things up. The surprising story of cinnamon now. Let's turn to the spice rack. There's one spice in particular, with its warm, comforting aroma, that has been cherished for centuries, not just for flavor, but for its traditional medicinal uses: cinnamon. Could this familiar spice be more than just a delightful addition to our oatmeal or apple pie? I believe the answer is a resounding yes, especially when we consider its potential role in blood sugar management. For years, folk wisdom pointed to cinnamon as helpful for metabolic balance, and now modern science is beginning to uncover why. One of the most intriguing findings is that certain compounds in cinnamon appear to mimic insulin or enhance its action. Imagine that. Compounds like cinnamaldehyde, which gives cinnamon its characteristic scent, might actually help your cells become more receptive to insulin, or even assist in ushering glucose out of the bloodstream and into cells where it can be used for energy. It's like giving your body an extra little helper to manage sugars more effectively. But that's not all. Cinnamon might also play a role in slowing down digestion. When you eat a meal, especially one rich in carbohydrates, cinnamon could help moderate the speed at which food empties from your stomach. Why is this beneficial? A slower emptying rate generally means a more gradual release of sugars into your bloodstream, preventing those sudden, sharp spikes that can strain your system and lead to energy crashes. Some research even suggests it can influence the activity of digestive enzymes that break down carbohydrates. Think about it. By simply adding a teaspoon of cinnamon to your daily routine, you could be providing your body with a multifaceted tool to support more stable blood sugar levels. Several studies and reviews have indicated that regular consumption of cinnamon, typically in the range of 1 to 6 grams a day, which is about half a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons, might lead to reductions in fasting blood glucose and improvements in A1C levels, which is a marker of long-term blood sugar control. Now, a quick but important note: there are mainly two types of cinnamon, cassia and Ceylon. Cassia is more common and contains higher levels of a compound called coumarin, which in very large, sustained doses could be a concern for liver health in sensitive individuals. Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, has much lower levels of coumarin and is generally preferred if you're planning to use cinnamon therapeutically or in larger amounts daily. For most people, using common cassia cinnamon in typical culinary amounts is perfectly fine, but it's something to be aware of. Beyond blood sugar, cinnamon is a powerhouse of antioxidants. These compounds help combat oxidative stress, that internal rusting process that can contribute to inflammation and various chronic health issues, including insulin resistance. So, are you using cinnamon just for taste, or are you aware of the deeper potential it holds for your well-being? Perhaps it's time to look at that humble spice jar with a newfound respect. Apple cider vinegar and Arthur's Awakening. Finally, let's talk about something that's been a staple in kitchens and folk medicine for ages: apple cider vinegar, or ACV as it's often called. That sharp, tangy liquid, could it really hold significant benefits for how our bodies manage sugar? The scientific interest is certainly growing, and the stories from people who've incorporated it into their lives are often quite remarkable. One of the most studied effects of apple cider vinegar is its potential to blunt the rise in blood sugar after a meal, particularly a carbohydrate-rich one. The theory is that acetic acid, the main active component in ACV, interferes with the enzymes that break down starches. So, if fewer starches are broken down quickly into sugar, you get a slower, more gentle release of glucose into your bloodstream. Moreover, some evidence suggests acetic acid might improve how effectively your muscles take up glucose from the blood, helping to clear it more efficiently. Think of it like this: instead of a sudden flood of sugar hitting your system, ACV might help create more of a gentle stream. This can mean less demand on your pancreas to pump out insulin and potentially improved insulin sensitivity over time. Now, I want to share a little story that illustrates this. Let's call him Arthur. Arthur was in his late 60s, and for years he'd been noticing his energy levels just weren't what they used to be. He'd get that mid-afternoon slump almost every day, and he found himself craving sweets more often than he liked. His doctor had mentioned that his blood sugar numbers were creeping up and that he needed to be more mindful. Arthur felt a bit helpless, worried about what the future might hold. He'd heard about apple cider vinegar from a friend, but was skeptical. Just another fad, he thought. But after doing a little reading and feeling like he needed to try something proactive, he decided to give it a go. He started small. Just a teaspoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, the kind with the mother, diluted in a glass of water before his lunch and dinner. He wasn't expecting miracles. At first, the taste was a bit strong, but he got used to it. After a few weeks, Arthur started noticing something. That intense afternoon slump, it wasn't hitting him as hard. His cravings for sugary snacks seemed to lessen. He just felt a bit more balanced. At his next checkup, his doctor was pleasantly surprised. His numbers had stabilized, and Arthur himself reported feeling more energetic and in control. Now, Arthur's story isn't a medical claim, and apple cider vinegar isn't a cure. It was one part of his effort to make healthier choices. But for him, this simple, inexpensive addition felt like a key that helped unlock a better sense of well-being. He felt empowered, like he was actively participating in his health journey rather than just waiting for problems to arise. If you're considering trying apple cider vinegar, it's important to always dilute it, never drink it straight, as its acidity can be harsh on tooth enamel and your esophagus. Start with a small amount, like a teaspoon, in a good amount of water, and see how your body responds. And of course, if you have any underlying health conditions or are on medication, especially for diabetes or blood pressure, it's always wise to have a chat with your doctor first. It's about being informed and making choices that are right for your body. So, we've looked at lemons, broccoli, cinnamon, and apple cider vinegar. Each one, in its own way, seems to offer a supportive role in how our body manages the daily challenge of processing sugars and maintaining energy. Isn't it fascinating how these simple, natural foods, often overlooked, could hold such potential? The key, as with so many things in health, isn't about finding one magic bullet. It's about the synergy of consistent, mindful choices. It's about understanding that your body is an incredible system that often responds positively when given the right support. These foods aren't meant to replace medical advice or a balanced lifestyle, but rather to complement them, to empower you with more tools in your wellness toolkit. What we've discussed today is about fostering that sense of balance, helping your body do what it's designed to do, perhaps just a little more efficiently. It's about moving away from feeling like a victim of cravings or energy slumps and stepping into a role of active participation in your own vitality. I truly believe that knowledge is the first step towards empowerment. And when you're empowered, you can make choices that resonate with your health goals. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Did any of these foods surprise you? Have you already incorporated some of them into your routine? And what has your experience been? Perhaps you have other natural strategies that you found helpful for maintaining your energy and balance. Please take a moment to share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Your experiences can be incredibly valuable to others in our community. If you found this information helpful, if it sparked an idea or gave you a new perspective, I'd be so grateful if you would give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that notification bell. We're dedicated to bringing you more content like this, exploring natural, sensible ways to support your health and well-being. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, every small, positive choice you make is a step towards a healthier, more vibrant you. Take care, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.